Hello everyone, this is Madison, the Lab TA for Sections 8 and 9. Welcome to Week 2 of remotely taught classes. I hope all your classes have gone well so far and you were able to complete the lab and quiz last week for Lab 8. In order to stay in high spirits as we move on to speaking about fish, I just want us to remember that even though we may feel like the fish depicted in this comic now, eventually we will go back to being the pig. For now, just keep swimming. To begin Lab 9, the Fish Lab, I just want to lay out how the lab will go and remind everyone that these introductory PowerPoints are a way to help walk you through the lab using images and comparisons that will hopefully allow you to remember these concepts as they relate to either form or function. As you begin the lab, you'll notice that the first 4 exercises are going to introduce the evolutionary development of fish using extant species, those that are still in existence today. As you go through the lab, make sure you pay attention to the developmental progression and all the unique features of each organism. In these first 4 exercises, you will also be looking at one of 3 main objectives for this lab. Your first objective is to observe and explain fish evolutionary development and adaptations. As you go through the first 4 exercises, you should develop a visual timeline for both morphological development and adaptive features. As you move into exercise 5, you should begin to recognize identifying characteristics of native fish species. One of the main objectives of this entire diversity lab is to look at the native species in New York. Through Lab 9, try and determine what distinctive characteristics and adaptations make each native species recognizable. What morphological feature or adaptation makes you say, that's a bowfin, or that's a lake sturgeon? Throughout the entire lab, you should try and familiarize yourself with ecological specializations among fishes and the characters and behaviors of those specializations. Pay close attention to specific adaptations at different species and how they relate to the fish's ecological role. Now that you recognize your main objectives for this lab, we can move on to the content. If you have ever gone to an aquarium or even a pet store, you know there is a vast diversity of fish. However, all fish are known to be aquatic vertebrates with gills and fins. As you dive into this lab, you are going to see 2 main sections, one in which you look at fish evolution and the other in which you look at native fish species. Throughout the lab, you should pay particular attention to the adaptations specific to different species and fish evolution. Okay, with the introduction of the lab out of the way, you can jump straight into the next video, part 2, where we will discuss lancelots, jawless fishes, and cartilaginous fishes.